Mighty fine winter we're having this spring. Hope you're staying warm out there. Welcome to the Rambler Sports Locker. I'm Joe Flaherty.
And I'm Mary Stugden. You know, Joe, I really thought we were in for some decent weather after Woodstock Willie didn't see his shadow.
Well, I think that's the last time we should trust a furry little critter to predict the future. That's all I'm saying.
It's okay, Willie. We still love you. Anyway, there's quite a bit to catch you up on in the world of Loyola athletics, so let's get to it. 41 days and counting. That's how long it's been since men's volleyball lost their last match. The Ramblers have been undefeated since their March 1st loss to Ohio State. In the midst of their 9-game win streak, Loyola got revenge on the Buckeyes, sweeping them in 3 straight sets at home. 4 days later, the Ramblers swept IPFW in straight sets. Joe Smalzer hit the kill switch, firing off a match-high 17 kills. The Ramblers are now 10-3 in the MIVA play and 19-8 overall. Their final match of the regular season will take place this Saturday against Ball State in Muncie, Indiana. With a Rambler win and a loss by Lewis University, Loyola has a chance to head into the postseason with the #1 seed in the MIVA tournament.
Well, the men's season is coming to a close. The women's volleyball team is staying active in their spring season. DePaul, Green Bay, UIC, Lewis, Iowa, and Bradley will make their way to the Gentile Arena to take part in the 3 Wise Men tournament, which starts on April 13th. The tournament is open to the public and admission is free, so you don't have to worry about bringing your gold, frankincense, and myrrh to get in. Matches start at 10 a.m. and Loyola is scheduled to take on Iowa and DePaul in their first 2 matches.
Well, Joe, that is some great news because I am fresh out of myrrh.
You've been using a lot of myrrh lately, I take it?
It's a personal problem.
Sounds like it.
Well, moving on to the softball diamond, Mother Nature has been wreaking havoc on the women's schedule. But the Ramblers have had a lot of success when they've been on the field lately. On Sunday, Loyola looked to cap off a sweep against conference rival Valparaiso. Valpo jumped out to an early 2-1 lead after an RBI off the bat of Brittany Duncan in the first and a home run by Lindsay Norway early in the second. But the Ramblers battled back and put on quite a show in the bottom of the 6th inning. The frame opened with Jessica Balzano reaching base and an error by the Crusader defense. Brooke Andreessen quickly followed with a single that pushed Balzano all the way to third base. Lauren Moore then stepped into the plate, hitting a base hit to score Balzano and not the score at 2. It would be Moore's only hit in the game, but it's the only one she needed. 1 walk later, Lauren Zarowski stepped up to the plate and belted a 3-run home run to give the Ramblers a 6-3 lead they would never relinquish. Starting pitcher Brittany Gardner finished out the game for the Ramblers, striking out the last batter she faced for the 6-2 Loyola win. Loyola's 4-game win streak was snapped in their following game against Purdue on Tuesday by a score of 7-4. The Ramblers fell to an early 5-0 deficit, and a late rally wasn't enough to take down the Boilermakers. Loyola's record now stands at 16-13 on the season. Wednesday's game against NIU was canceled due to weather, and hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate the weekend when the Ramblers travel to Detroit, Michigan to take on the Titans.
And I believe congratulations are in order for Brittany Gardner, who was named Horizon League Player of the Week. This marks the 2nd time this season and the 6th time in her illustrious career that she's earned this honor. She went 3-0 with a .67 ERA and 25 strikeouts in 21 innings last week, while allowing only 7 hits. Her 40 career victories now rank 3rd on Loyola's all-time charts, and she's only 30 strikeouts away from setting a new school record.
Another track and field athlete has grabbed the spotlight this week. Senior Jordan Lyles has been named the Horizon League Male Outdoor Field Athlete of the Week. Lyles' throw of 58.42 meters almost broke the school record held by, wait for it, Jordan Lyles. However, the toss was good enough to earn him a first-place finish in a field of 33 competitors at the Chicagoland Championships in Romeoville, Illinois.
Well, champions in Wrigley Field usually don't go together in the same sentence, but they were supposed to on Wednesday night. Cubs invited John Egan, Rich Rochelle, and Chuck Wood of Loyola's 1963 NCAA championship-winning basketball team to throw out a ceremonial first pitch and sing the 7th inning stretch during a matchup against the Milwaukee Brewers. But as Loyola's softball team knows all too well, nothing is exempt from Mother Nature's wrath, not even the friendly confines. The game against the Brewers was postponed due to the inclement weather. The game itself will be made up as part of a day-night doubleheader against the Brewers on July 30th, but it's unclear at the moment if the 3 players will be invited back to take part in the festivities.
What's in a game? Well, there's the athletes, the cheering fans, and Lou Wolf, of course. But what goes on behind the scenes? Reporter Benita Gingerella gives us a look at Loyola athletics.
With blazing fast pitch speeds, the women's softball team puts a lot of stress on their equipment. So where does it all go when it's had enough? Here. And after a long night on the court, where do the basketballs go to just hang around? Here. How about Lou Wolf? After all that cheering, where does he go to just clear his head? Right here. It's all part of the behind-the-scenes magic that goes into every Loyola Athletics production. And as Assistant Facilities Director Matt Mallon told us, that's no small to-do list.
In the gym, usually the day of or the day before, we'll go in, we'll set up chairs, scores table. We wire the table up for stats. We get the video boards ready for that. After that, we just pretty much wait.
For many students, athletics is just about sorry. For many students, athletics is just about the game itself, but for each team, there is a different equipment and setup process.
For sports such as basketball and volleyball, it can take maintenance a couple hours to set up before the game. They like to set up on game days, so the student athletes have a place to practice beforehand.
While it may be a lot of hard work to track, organize, clean, and manage all the athletic equipment, the job still has its perks.
I got to meet Derrick Rose. I've seen Michael Jordan and stuff like that. I did get to drive one of his cars.
Weiler's payoff comes from working directly with the athletes.
Just being able to help out the student athletes, trying to give them the best experience possible while they're here, giving them best facilities and best game experience, practice environment that we can.
Loyola Athletics has had their fair share of success on the field, but without the proper equipment and maintenance, none of these victories would be possible. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Benita Gingerella.
And in addition to all that Mallon and Wheeler do for the Loyola Athletics, they also help to run the Jumbotron and other video for the players.
Well, the second week of April is here, and that means it's time for the Masters. But what's interesting about this year's tournament is that several of the top designers released their golfers' outfit for the week way ahead of time. To tell us a little bit more about the Super Bowl of golf, we brought in our resident fashion experts, Bridget Sharon and Steve Manny, who thinks he has a pretty cool tie himself.
Thanks, Joe. Steve, that tie isn't really going to make you look as good as the Masters players, but it's nice of you to try.
You know, I think you guys are just jealous of my nice tie. But guys everywhere will be able to get a taste of the right way to dress this summer by watching the Masters this weekend. These aren't going to be our picks to win the trophy in Augusta, but they are our picks for the weekend's real winners. And we're going to start at number 6, and that's the hodgepodge of colors that is Rory McIlroy's Nike wardrobe is way too scattered and mixed to put him up higher on our list, but that's despite his superstar girlfriend Caroline Wozniacki. There's nothing too bold here, but with the exception of Sunday, he's going to be very bright.
And it's 2 for 2 for Nike. Francisco Molinaro is our second golfer on the Fashion Watch. His outfits are a tad boring on Thursday and Friday with the brown and white stripes and the bright red shirt, but all that's made up for over the weekend when he'll don the blue shirt with the checker design, which he can only hope will give him some luck for victory the next day. The canary yellow crossword design on Sunday will make him stand out and help him solve Augusta's Amen Corner.
I get it. Number 4, I'm not sure if it's the artist's rendition of Luke Donald in those disinterested poses or his half-popped, half-folded collars, but Ralph Lauren RLX has done themselves some good with these sketches. They dressed up their guy in a kind of outfit that the average golfer could pull off, with maybe the exception of those green pants from Friday. And I especially like the dark Sunday outfit. It says, "I'm going to win this tournament and your girlfriend." That's just the cartoon.
And at number 3, red and black on the odd rounds, white and gray for the even ones. There's some bold looks for Bubba Watson here, but it looks like Oakley isn't too confident that their guy is making the cut, because the latter outfits are slated for Thursday and Friday. The stripes match his personality and takes a guy named Bubba to wear those red and white belts.
And that brings us to number 1. Oh, wait, just number 2 is the man we all thought would be number 1. Ricky Fowler pulls up just a tad short for Puma. We just can't get over the fact that his signature Sunday outfit looks like a prison jumpsuit. Still, the inmates wear the bright orange to stand out, and that's exactly what he'll do this weekend. The colors are very springy, but you just can't help but wonder if he's more into the outfits than he is into playing golf. I mean, it could hit 80 degrees on Saturday, but he's got a jacket on. Ricky is still going to turn some heads this weekend, but the lack of variation is what knocked the champion off his pedestal this year.
And our number 1 pick for most stylish Masters weekend outfit is Thorbjorn Olesen. For those of you who have not heard of Thorbjorn, he is a 40th ranked golfer and is also the most attractive player of the weekend. He may not be as flashy as, say, Ricky Fowler, but his look is classic while at the same time youthful, appropriate since the Dane is only 23 years old. Thorbjorn isn't expected to make a big splash out in the field, but he is definitely sure to turn a few heads with his luscious golden outfits. Also, big props to Nike, who have styled 3 of our top 6 golfers, including the champ.
Wow, Bridget, sounds like you have a little bit of a crush.
It's objective journalism, Steve.
Well, guys, thanks, and no Tiger on the list.
You know, he's going to look like Tiger. He's got some neutral colors and the red on Sunday, but nothing bold enough to make the list.
Well, I guess he's going to have to let his golfing do the talking. Now, talking really quick here just about the actual game
Right.
itself. Tiger or Rory?
Tiger's too good right now. He's too hot. Gotta be Tiger.
Rory, all the way.
All right, I guess we'll be watching.
And that's
And now for three guys who wish they looked half as good as the golfers in the Masters. Here's Nick Amontangelo with the Weekly Ramble.
I don't know what you guys are thinking. I've never seen a golfer out on the course in a suit. Guess you missed the memo on the red tie, Chris.
Still look better.
I'm Nick Amontangelo. Welcome to the Weekly Ramble. I'm joined this week by Chris Lehman and Benjamin Shankin. Yeah. All right. So, this is a quick overview on how it goes. I'm going to ask these guys 3 questions. They're going to give me their answers. At the end of it, I'm going to determine which one I think is best. That's what I think. Afterwards, we're going to put the poll questions up on YouTube. You guys will then go vote and tell me what you think, who you think actually won the Ramble. So let's get started. Question number 1. College basketball season just ended. Louisville defeated my team, U of Michigan, in the final championship game. But do you guys think that the best team won this year? Chris?
Well, absolutely. They were the number 1 seed going into the tournament. Then they were the team that won. They're the most balanced. They have the best backcourt in Russ Smith and Peyton Siva. They have probably one of the best front courts in Gorgie Jang, Shane Bohannon, who's just a freak on the boards. And coming off the bench, they got the 6'8" freshman Harrell, who's just an athletic freak. And that's probably the best well-rounded team, and there's a reason they won.
Absolutely. All right, what do you think, Benjamin?
I think the Kansas Jayhawks should have won. They were the all-around team. You had all these seniors playing on the team. You had Jeff Withey. You had the freshman Macklemore. They're all entering the NBA draft. And who can argue with Rock Chalk Jayhawk? Go KU.
The NCAA championship sure can.
Yeah, I have to go with Chris on this one. It's hard to argue against a championship when your team didn't even make it out of the Sweet 16. So I'm going to go with Chris on this one. Question 2. It's Masters weekend this weekend. Who do you guys think is going to come away with the victory? Ben?
I'm taking Tiger Woods. He's almost completing his comeback. He's won so many golf tournaments beforehand. He's going to win.
All right. What do you think on that, Chris?
As much as I would love to see Tiger Woods come back and further his reign of terror on the world of golf, I'd much rather see Bubba Watson come in, and he's the defending champ. And let's be real, he's got a hovercraft. I mean, who can beat a man with a hovercraft in golf? No one.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you again, Chris. You can't beat a hovercraft. That is like the coolest thing.
Prevents water hazards.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go with Chris again. So Chris taking a 2-1 lead heading into our final question. Last question. The MLB season is about a week and a half old. What has struck you guys as something surprising? Chris?
Well, I mean, right off the bat, I instantly think of Chris Davis. Most people don't know who he is. He's the Baltimore Orioles first baseman. Averages about 40 RBIs a year for his career. He's already at 18 through 9 games. I mean, that's just a ridiculous start. He's leading the league in RBIs, tied for second in home runs with 5. He's top 15 in on-base percentage and batting average. And no one knows his name.
Ben, what do you think?
I would have to say the Kansas City Royals. They haven't been to the playoffs in close to over 20 years. They're already in the first in their division. I would say, look at Jimmy Butler, Billy Butler, look what he's been able to do, Grand Slams and everything else. I think Kansas City Royals are the biggest surprise.
Ben, I'm going to have to agree with you. You can't beat Billy Butler. Like, the Orioles, they were good last year. This isn't a surprise.
Was Chris Davis?
Yeah, but Billy Butler's and the Royals have kind of come out of nowhere. They're in first in the division, leading the Tigers. The Tigers, who have, all those big-name players, defending World Series runner-ups.
It's kind of early.
It is early,
That's like the Cleveland Browns being 1-0.
And I'm still going to go with the Royals, so I'm going to give it to Benjamin.
All right.
So that'll do it for us here at the Weekly Ramble. Remember to go online and vote for whatever answer you guys think it answered better. So I gave it 2-1 to Chris, but if you guys think Benjamin had a better answer, be sure to vote on the polls on Facebook. Until next time, I'm Nick Amontangelo, joined by Chris Lehman and Benjamin Shankin. Back to you guys at the desk.
I think the real surprise in MLB was the severed goat head that was delivered to Tom Ricketts.
Well, if it helps break the Billy Goat curse, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, me too. Seekers, keepers, and beaters. Oh my, it's that time of the year again. Time for the Quidditch World Cup. Luckily, however, Loyola's club Quidditch team won't be needing a port key to get there. Reporter Rebecca Bear caught up with the team at one of the last practices before they leave.
Okay, well, it's not quite like this, but the Loyola Quidditch team is going to the 6th World Cup this year. This will be the first time in Loyola's history that a squad will be competing in the Division I category. The tournament, beginning this weekend, takes place in Orlando, Florida. They will be competing against 80 other schools from 4 different countries to take home the World Cup. So what exactly is this sport? The Rambler Sports Locker talked with the president of the Quidditch, Amanda Lofgren, to figure out what exactly is happening on the field.
There are 7 players on either side for each team. One of them is a seeker, and their job is to catch the snitch. The second position is keeper. They just guard the hoops. Then there's 3 chasers, and those are the main point scorers, beaters, and they use what are the dodgeballs. And our job is basically to knock out the other team's players. My goal is to knock out as many of people as possible so that it's easier for my team to score and to defend.
While the sport may be complicated, students of all athletic backgrounds can join.
It really is amazing how understanding and open everyone is, and we will literally let anyone play. And if you've never had any athletic experience, you can come into Quidditch and be the best player out there because there's positions that are so different from other sports.
With a squad made of mostly freshmen, Vice President Erica Kropp is excited to bring these little owlets to their first World Cup.
I'm most excited to see friends from other schools and really introduce all of our freshmen this year to the great experience that is World Cup.
As one of the few private schools attending the tournament, Kropp says the team is ready to win some points for Gryffindor, or Loyola.
I am pumped. Are you ready to win? Yes, we're ready to win for sure.
Sounds like their spirits are flying as high as their brooms. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Rebecca Baer.
With over 300 Quidditch clubs in existence in the United States, lovers of the sport are waiting for at least 50 to step up and petition the NCAA to make Quidditch an official NCAA varsity sport. Until then, best of luck at the World Cup.
Now, I have a quick question, Mary. If they turn into a D1 sport, will the brooms actually fly?
Well, that's all the time that we have for this week's edition of the Rambler Sports Locker. Be sure to follow us by using any of the fine social media tags that you'll see below. Until next time, I'm Mary Sugden.
And I'm Joe Flaherty. Thanks for stopping by the Sports Locker, and don't forget to turn out the lights.
All right, now so you see in the book it's fake, so the brooms can fly.
So they can fly in the
But
book
that goes
fly.
against the laws of physics
So it can't.
for the real world.
Okay.
So the brooms will never
Then
fly.
why would anyone ever play?